The Dallas Cowboys drafted a running back this season that a lot of Cowboys fans are excited to finally see on the field. However, there was one big issue that many believe dropped him into the 5th round, and that was the fact that he had issues holding on to the ball. Today, I want to take a deeper dive into that actual problem, and we're going to take a listen to a division rival coach sounding off on this particular issue. Let's get right into it, and be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content just like this. Shut your up. First things first, before we even get into what Anthony Lynn had to say about Jaydon Blue, I just gotta say this, man. The dude's feet look extremely quick, and you can see as soon as he turns this corner right here, the burst is absolutely there. So Jaydon Blue, I think, is going to be a weapon for the Cowboys that we haven't seen probably since the likes of like rookie Tony Pollard, when he came in and kind of surprised everybody with that change of speed. I think we're going to see a Jaydon Blue come out and have that type of impact for the team. Maybe not like a lead back or someone's going to get you 1,000 yards that first season, but a running back that every time he comes in, you can see he's going to be the future of that position in the next year or two, right? I think that's what we're going to get out of a Jaydon Blue, and he's hard at work right now. You can see him doing a lot of these agility drills and cutting and all that other stuff and reaction timing drills and stuff like that with the ping pong ball. So anytime I see our players working, I'm a fan of it, all right? So let's get into what running back coach Anthony Lynn actually had to say about Jaydon Blue and his biggest problem that he had at University of Texas. And again, this is courtesy of DLLS Sports, so be sure to check them out.
Jaydon Blue was one of the guys that I really, really liked. One of his big knocks was early in the year, he had a fumbling problem at Texas. So
Right. One of his big knocks was earlier in the year, he had a fumbling problem at Texas. We need to make sure we keep that context of earlier in the year he had a fumbling problem against Texas. I'm going to come back to that.
A running back coach, when you see something like that, do you think in your mind, I can knock that out?
Prior to that, was he a fumbler? Defenses are trained to attack the football. Sometimes you have to get used to that and make that transition.
Okay, so he's asked a good question. Prior to that, was he a fumbler? I have the answer for that. Prior to his 2024 season, I believe he only fumbled 2 times. So, no, he wasn't really all that much of a fumbler prior to last season.
So you go into your fundamentals of how you carry the football. Some kids are taught that better than others, and some kids it takes longer. I know when he came back after he had those 3 fumbles, did he fumble it again? Nope. When we fail, let's not beat us up for failing. I think failing is part of the process of being a winner.
Okay, I really like what Anthony Lynn said there. He said when he had those 3 fumbles, did he have any more fumbling issues after that? Nope. So what this did was it made me really think. It made me go like, wait a minute. How bad was his fumbling issues really at the University of Texas? So I wanted to do a little bit of research, and I did some digging, and I got me a pretty damn good answer that may make Cowboys fans even more excited about this particular pickup, right? So Jaydon Blue, his much maligned fumbling issues, let's actually jump right into that and see what the dealio is. All right, so first things first, I just want to package this up for you guys. Even with these issues, you're looking at a guy who fumbled 5 times in 2024. Guess what? He accounted for 14 touchdowns, 5.4 yard per carry average. So that right there gives you a little bit of, okay, what's the risk reward right here? I still want to put this guy on the field because he's absolutely a lightning bolt. But at the same time, what is going on with the ball security? I did a little bit of digging, and we found some Texas Longhorn articles pertaining to this issue. And come to find out, this is not a Jaydon Blue specific issue. This is why doing a little bit of extra leg work is important, because in a vacuum, you would look at Jaydon Blue and you would listen to all the fumbles that he had last season, be like, holy crap, you cannot afford to do that in the NFL. He can't. He cannot afford to fumble in the NFL, but the Cowboys have the advantage of, one, knowing that was an issue for him coming out of college, and now they're going to be able to attack that issue all throughout the offseason, right, and help him fine-tune the issues that caused the fumbles. Now, Jaydon Blue himself gave an answer as to what he thinks the fumbles are caused from. He says he thinks it's a lot of him carrying the ball low at times and not having consistency with it. He said a lot of it is when it's in my left hand. That's what happened. It was in my left hand. Now I kind of carry the ball naturally low, so I have to be more intentional about carrying it high and tight. Here's the kicker, though. Fumbling was a team-wide problem for the Longhorns. The game in which Jaydon Blue had multiple fumbles against Kentucky, It was the same game that Texas as a team fumbled the ball 6 times against Kentucky, okay? Even though the Wildcats only recovered 2 of them, the Longhorns were fumbled 6 times total in that game. So was it just Jaydon Blue? That right there is an indication of coaching. That right there is an indication of maybe that's not something that the team or the program is really keying in on and fine-tuning with the guys. That right there is something that, honestly, if multiple guys on the team are fumbling, that's not just a player-specific thing. That's more of a program-specific issue, right? And as a whole, the Longhorns had lost 9 fumbles as a team through 11 games. So, again, not just Jaydon Blue having that fumbling issue. I think that was very, very important as it pertains to context of the player that we're getting and understanding what Anthony Lynn said about, yeah, the guy may have had that issue, but let's not define him by he's a fumbler. We can't define him by that because, for one, it's not fair because the whole program had an issue with it. 2, he only had 1 season like that, which was 2024. And 3, hey, man, new league, new name. Nothing from college really translates until you show that it translates in the NFL. I'm not going to make one of our players carry that monkey on his back. Get a young man a fresh start. Don't label him with any negativity before he ever gets a chance to actually suit up for the Cowboys. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it, right? Now, Texas coach Steve Sarkisian said that muscle memory and repetition factor into Blue's fumble issues. He says, why did the fumbles occur? Sarkisian said, what happened from a technical standpoint? How can we fix that? Then how do we emphasize that moving forward throughout the week and work on a few things? He said it's like anything. Anybody who's struggling, a batter in baseball, a pitcher in baseball, 3-point shooter, we've talked about all about that kind of stuff. The physical ability is there. The confidence to execute it is what our job is as coaches, to make sure they're in the right frame of mind and get that done. That's why they call us coach. I'm really just trying to recharge their batteries a bit, give them a little bit more time to sleep, understanding that the game this week is at 6:30 in the evening as well, and so a little bit of it is their biological clock, getting that in the right frame. So we're just trying to take advantage of the time. All right, so that was kind of some of the answers surrounding Jaydon Blue's fumbling issues at Texas. And I'll just say this. I am buying what Anthony Lynn is selling. I think that all the ability, skills, and traits are there. I think that it's all going to be dependent upon, can he protect the ball and can he make the proper reads in his own running scheme? I think that's probably what it's going to come down more to. And if he can do that, then I think he can be successful. If he won't, then he won't be successful. It'll be as simple as that. But either way, appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content just like this on the regular. See you guys on the next one. Now, them Cowboys. My ass bone is hurting, y'all. My ass bone is really
calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.